Captain Yard with the Battle Axes of the Most High, coming in with another Monday night class, a Monday night dine-in where we don't dine with the swine. We always give praise, honor, and glory to our Maker for giving us the allowance to do these classes, to bring edification to the nation of Israel in any way, form, fashion, so that the nation can be uplifted, man, and understanding their nationality, understanding who they are as a people, understanding the law, statutes, and commandments that we so earnestly need to do. Tonight's class won't be a long class, but I wanted to touch on what today is. You know, we as a Battle Axes, we started our Feast of Tabernacles last night. Had a great time. So we just started our Tabernacles. We'll be going out to camp Thursday, so this is the week of Tabernacles. So we just really getting prepared to go and celebrate the feast for the Most High God. But I wanted to come to you tonight just to keep it going. You know, I know some brothers and sisters be looking for these classes, be needing these classes, man, to stay in the spirit, man. We understand that. Tonight's class, we're going to Native, Indigenous, or God's chosen people. As we all know, today is, I didn't know, they had to tell me. Today is supposed to be Christopher Columbus Day or Indigenous People Day. But we just want to touch and see real quickly on who those people are, who those people really were, you know, not just certain names or as we like to say, Deuteronomy 28 and 37, bywords and proverbs that they gave us. Right. So, like I said, tonight's class we're going to Native, Indigenous, or God chosen people. Shout out to brothers and sisters around the four corners of the earth. Brothers that's pushing the truth and sincerity, being true watchmen to the nation of Israel, putting their life on the line, man, being a true sacrifice, a living sacrifice to the Most High God, to the uplifting of the saints, to the elect, as well as sisters that's out here being humble, submissive, you know, teachers of good things to the children, to the women, to the younger women, you know, to marry, modestly dressed, shamefacedness, that's big. I know y'all saw, if y'all didn't see this weekend, we had a sister come out there with no shamefacedness, man, just all out, man, just not being a true light to the nation, man. That's not what the nation needs to see. So I give honors and shout out to brothers, man, that's doing the work, sisters that's being in submission. You know, that's what we have to do. That's what we have to see. That's what the world needs to see. First precept we'll go to, let's go to Isaiah 52. Go to Isaiah 52 and we'll start at verse 1. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 52, verse 1. Awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion. Put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, thy holy city. For henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean. So the Most High in Isaiah is telling us, man, to awake, man. Come up out of the sleep, man. Come up out of the decayed state of mind that we're in. You know, it don't matter what kind of holiday it is for us. As long as we get to get off from work, as long as we get the children out of school, you know, things of that nature, we're going to go celebrate something. But the Most High is telling us to awake, man, from what we are doing, from awake from our ways. We're going to celebrate any and everything. They don't do the history or the study to understand exactly what we are doing. You know, we know this day, Christopher Columbus Day, was a lot of so-called. It's not as big as the pagan holidays as Easter or Christmas or things of that nature. But hey, like you said, you give a so-called black man a day off or something, and they go love Esau dirty draws, man. Oh yeah, it's Christopher Columbus Day. Yeah, oh yeah, man. You know, the day he discovered America, man. So the Most High said, awake, man, put on thy strength. Your strength is what? The law, statutes, and commandments. That's the only thing that gives you strength over the other nations. That's the only thing that makes us A great nation, man. Let's get that. Deuteronomy, man. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 4. We'll start at 4. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 4. But ye that did cleave unto the Lord your God are alive, every one of you this day. So that's heavy too, touching on, guess what? Also going into regeneration as well, man. It said, we that did cleave to the Lord, you are alive, every one of you this day, meaning that spirit is continually coming back around the earth every 3 or 4 generations, right? Verse 5, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whether you go to possess it. Shall I to keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations. So when I said put on your strength, your wisdom and understanding, that is the strongest thing that we have as a nation of people. That's our strength. We know that our strength lies in Yahweh Ba'ashem and Amashak Yahweh Shai as well. But we know that our strength comes from him, and what he gives us is the law, statutes, and commandments that made us such a great nation. Right? It says your wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations. Wisdom and understanding is our strength. It's no more having to go out there and put in physical work, having to go out there and throw hands, hit them with a couple jabs, haymakers, wrestle WWF off the top rope, power driver. We don't have to do that anymore, man. All we have to do is give this battle to the Most High God, put our lives up as a living sacrifice, and keep the commandments. That's what our strength is, right? Let's keep reading. In the sight, so it says, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. So when the other nations see us in order, when they see our sisters in order, in submissiveness, humbleness, when they see us walking as a well-oiled machine, man, let's go have other nations in turmoil. Be like, oh man, these niggas done woke up, man. Damn. But we have to get on one accord with each other, man. Like we know, we say this all the time, one accord. It doesn't mean that we're going to keep the new moon on the same calendar. It doesn't mean we're going to be just everything right. But we need to be on one accord with these laws, statutes, and commandments. And pretty much Israel knows that we have to keep laws, statutes, and commandments. Basically, that's the whole thing. If we can get on one agreement, it is that we have to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments that the Most High God gave us. Let's keep reading. For what nation is there so great, who hath God so nigh unto them, as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for? So I said, what nation is there so great that has God so nigh to them? The Most High is right here with us when we're doing the commandments. When we're keeping the commandments, he's right there. When you casting your burdens upon the Most High God and letting him fight for you, he's right there. What nation is that so great? That's the nation of Israel, man. Right? Verse 7, for what nation is that so great, who has God so nigh unto them, as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is there so great, that has statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law, which I set before you this day? So we are that nation, man. We are those people that set aside, that set apart. For what nation is that so great? That's the nation of Israel, man. That's us. And that's our strength. Going back to Isaiah 52. Let's read it again. Awake, awake. Starting at verse 1. Awake, awake. Put on thy strength, O Zion. And we know Zion is another name for Israel, man, right? Put on thy beautiful garments. What's that garment that we have to put on, man? Clothes and righteousness. We went over this in class last week. Ephesians 16:11. Put on the armor of God, man, the full armor, right? From head to toe, battle tested in truth, battle tested in righteousness, right? Which is the Most High God's commandments, man. Put on thy beautiful garments. That garment is your commandments, man. That's your law. If you lacking in certain parts of the law, of the commandments and the laws, then guess what? You're gonna be lacking when the devil come and try to attack you, man. A lot of people are lacking right now because they don't have no understanding of what they are doing in this world, in this captivity, man. They lacking by not having an understanding of this day. Indigenous Day. Christopher Columbus Day. Right? We don't understand what happened to our brothers, man, our Northern Kingdom brothers, man, around this time frame that so-called Christopher Columbus, so-called discovered America. We always got to put that so-called out there, right? All the different covenants that he wrote, the peace treaties that he tried to come just to take over that land, man. As we know, they are our soil. Verse 2, Isaiah 52 and 1. Well, I'm going to read it again. Awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion. Put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem. The holy city, man. That's what we get another understanding on it. We can go all day with this thing. We know Jerusalem is that what? Is that holy city. We know that that's the mother of us all. It's not, they Africa, Ham, right? None of that. It's Jerusalem, which is the holy city. For henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean. Shake thyself from the dust, arise and sit down. Shake thyself from the dust, man. We got cobwebs, man. We got to get that dust off our eyes, man. We got to get that dust off of our mindsets, man. Off our mentalities, man. That dust is on us tough, man. So we have to shake these things off of us in order to come back to our Maker, our Creator. It says, shake thyself from the dust, arise and sit down. Arise, come back into who you are. Come back into your rightful possession, Israel, as being the top real estate in this land, being the top people, man. The number one priority, man, of the Most High God, right? But it said, then also sit down, humble yourselves. Come on, man, this is true, man. This is tough, man. Because as many of us know, as soon as Israel is a nation, as soon as you so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans start learning something, what you start doing, you start getting high-minded. Start going off a little bit, man. Well, I showed them this and I did them that, man. It said, shake thyself from the dust, turn from your wicked ways, start learning to get wisdom and understanding. Arise, come back into your state of mind, your number one priority, right? And then what? And then sit down, man. Humble yourself. O Jerusalem, loose thyself from the bands of thy neck. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to try to loose ourselves from the bands of captivity, man. From the bands of what? Of not knowing these days, man. Of not knowing that what the native Indians, so-called native Indians, were our people, man. Are our people, man. That they weren't just, some people that was already know. And then we're going to get into that and prove, right? O captive daughter of Zion. And we know that we were the captives. We are the captives. We are still captive to this day. Israel, Baruch 3 and 8 all day. You go to work, you go make that money, you go home so that you can pay the bills. You go back to work so you can pay the next bill, so you can provide for your family. But we don't understand that this is supposed to be our world. The Lord made the world for our sake, so we shouldn't even be working in this kingdom. It should be other nations working for us, right? Let's go to Romans 15 and 4, man. Just get some start out precepts, man, to get some understanding today, because that's what it's about. Today is about getting understanding, man. Every day is really about getting understanding. Understanding of who you are, understanding of your place, understanding of your role, man. That's the main thing, understanding of your role. I did a class, know your role, man. Gotta know your role, man. Romans 15 and 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. Now the God of patience and consolation grant you to be like-minded one toward another according to Christ, that ye may with one mind and one mouth glorify God, even the Father our Lord, Yahushua. So the things that are written aforetime, like we see in these scriptures, they were written for our learning, man. These are things that we have to put into remembrance, right? This is what we have to do. We have to go back into the scriptures, unlock these mysteries and the fulfillment of the Most High God and His Son Christ, and things that He has fulfilled and is going to later fulfill in prophecy. And just remember the things that we've been through. Go back and get an account of the cloud of witness, which is our forefathers, man, right? Even some of my foremothers, man. Go take a look at them and see things they went wrong at, see the places where they went right at, where they kept the law. Take from those things and take the good and throw away the bad, right? I'm going to read 4 again. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. So the only thing that's going to comfort us in these times, Israel, is patience and comfort through the scriptures, man. That's what's going to give you that patience. We see what's going to happen. We see the judgment of the other nations. We see people now, if you serving a God that still got you in captivity, I can't get down with that. Well, you don't have patience and comfort of the scriptures. Because we see in the scriptures that we go out to go through these things, man. We see the scriptures that we're going to go through these curses in the Bible until the Most High sent Hamashiach back, man, to redeem us out of this captivity, man. For our wicked ways. Don't forget. That's the thing. We love to throw away what we did. Well, why would God do this? Well, why would God be like that? Well, Negro, what did you do? Yeah. You made an agreement. You put a covenant out there. So our ancestors told them, hey, we will follow you, Father. We will do your commandments, man. You made us a great nation. We're going to follow them. And did we keep them? Let's get one more, man. We've been putting this crease up a lot, too. That 2 Peter. 2 Peter chapter 3. 3 and 1. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 1. It reads, this second epistle, beloved, I now write unto you in both, which I stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance, man. It's time to stir up your minds, Israel. It's time to stir up your minds, so-called black man. You're not black. You're not African American. You're not two continents, man. You're not none of that, man. You are the greatest person on the planet. You are God's chosen people, man. That's what you are, man. He said, I write this to stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance. It's time to remember what happened to us. What did Christopher Columbus do to our brothers, man? What did he do? Talking about Thanksgiving. We're going to celebrate Thanksgiving too, man. Big turkey, stuffing, dressing. I was part of it. You see me. I definitely was a part of Thanksgiving. But I can't fade it no more. As Israelites say, I can't fade that no more, man. I can't get down with that. I can't get down with the slaughter of my brothers, man, of my Northern Kingdom brothers, man. I can't get down with that, man. We are a nation of people, and it's time for us to get back into being a nation of people, caring about one another, man. When we gonna start caring about each other again, man? When we gonna stop hindering each other, man? But looking at the so-called white man as the ruler of the world, they do something to you. They cut your lights out. You ain't gonna go up there and shoot. You ain't gonna go. And I'm not trying to promote no violence. Lord, I'm not. When the so-called white man cut your lights off, you ain't finna go up there and shoot up they light building, the light company. You know what I'm saying? So-called white man doing dirt to you every day, man. What you see him was on, just, how you doing, boss? Yes, sir, master. But your brother walk past you, slightly bump you on the shoulder, might even tell you, I'm sorry, brother. I was gonna get that nigga. Might touch your shoe a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Might hinder your little space, and there you go. You tricked to put hands on your own brother, man. But it's time to come back into being a nation again, stirring up our pure minds by way of remembrance, right? Verse 2, that you may be mindful of the words which were spoken before by the holy prophets, and of the commandment of us, and of the commandment of us, the apostles of the Lord our Savior, man. Right? So we got to make sure to be mindful of these things, man, that was spoken by the holy prophets. What are we mindful of? The things that were spoken of the holy prophets? The scriptures. Yes, Israel. The only way you're going to get down and understand who you are, get down with these laws, is by reading the scriptures and seeing how earnestly your forefathers fought to keep the laws. It's so easy for us to throw away a law today. Christians comes to tell you can't keep no law. But Matthias, Maccabees and them, man, they fought to keep the law, man. You had sisters, man, sons getting put to death for them earnestly keeping the law, man. Now we throw the law away like it ain't nothing. We throw the law around like it's a basketball, man. Nah, I don't want that. Oh, we throw the law around like we the top point guards in the city. I don't want no work. I want to pass the seat. Now you keep it. Now you keep it. Now you keep it. Alley-oop. Now I don't want it. So we have to stir up our pure minds and way of remembrance, man, right? So let's get a little understanding of what they say. I want to get some definitions, man. Let's get a definition of indigenous, man. I want to see. So, and that's all. That's all we got to do. Got to stir up our pure mind and see. Go to Google, man. Google will tell you some truth sometime, man. Just go there. Indigenous definition: originating or occurring naturally in a particular place. And then it shows the word native, right? So it says originating or occurring naturally in a particular place. Then the definition of the sentence, or the sentence to help you, is the indigenous people of Siberia. Well, we know the indigenous people of this land was the Israelites, man. We go back and get an understanding of that in Genesis. You can go to Genesis and understand that what we were the first people, man. Right? And then you get an understanding that first civilization was in Mesopotamia, which was what? On the western coastal atmosphere of this land, man. You know, Ham, the land of Canaan, which was given to the Israelites, you know, northern Iraq, Asia Minor, Asia Major, that side of the land, Russia, all this was already inhabited. This is where you get first civilization from, right? Well, we know the first people of those civilization areas or civilized areas were people of color, right? So now we get an understanding that, or understand, or try to get the understanding of, well, now we're talking about Christopher Columbus coming to America, right? So we know that we were the first people over here. So who was the first people over there, right? Let's get one more precept of native before we go to and get an understanding on that. Let's get native definition, man. The book of native. Native definition: a person born in a specified place or associated with a place by birth, whether subsequently resident there or not. Then it says, let's go down, associated with the place of circumstances of a person's birth, or indigenous origin or growth. And then it gives an example. These plants are native to North America. Well, the Israelites were native to the whole world, right? We are native to the whole land. So a person born in a specified place or associated with a place by birth, whether subsequently resident there or not. So we get understanding that, guess what? We was not first brought up in Orchard, which was the land Orchard at that time. However, we did migrate that way, right? Let's go to Second Edges, man. And we know that happened around what? The Syrian captivity, man. Also going into what? When the split of the kingdom, man. The northern kingdom went out first, right? Second Edges. Let's go to 13 and 40. We all know this part. Second Edges 13 and 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea, the king, whom Salmanasseh, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. So he carried them over the waters, man. It says, let me read it again. Those are the 10 tribes. We know that is the northern kingdom, right? Which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea, the king, whom Salmanasseh, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. So what is this another land, right? Because we know that, like I said, we dwelt in Asia Major, Minor, Mesopotamia, like I said, Canaan, the land of Canaan, which is given to us for a possession, right? We dwelled on that part of the world, on the western, basically, hemisphere of the world. But 41, but they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. Go to another country where never mankind dwelt. Because this landmass wasn't occupied at that time. But we see that the 10 tribes were going to be the first people to actually dwell in this part of the land. Let's get Isaiah. Go to Isaiah 26 right quick. So they said they was gonna keep their law. We had made an agreement. And guess what? We gonna go over here to this new land. You know how we do. We gonna relocate. And I'm gonna do things all over. I'm gonna do things different this time. I'm gonna do things right this time. I'm gonna get a fresh start, and I'm gonna keep these commandments. Right? I'm gonna keep these laws this time. Isaiah 20:6. The book of Isaiah, chapter 20, verse 6. And the inhabitant of this isle shall say in that day, behold, such is our expectation, whether we flee for help to be delivered from the king of Assyria, and how shall we escape? So this is going into the northern kingdom, man. So how we go escape from the king of Syria, man? Like I said, this lines up perfectly, man, with the Apocrypha, man, right? Show you that Salmanasseh, our 10 tribes were saying, well, look, we're going to try to escape from them. We're going to try to get over here ourselves, man. Start keeping these commandments ourselves, man, and do the thing, do right by the Lord this time, right? Read 41 again. But they took this counsel among themselves, and they would leave the multitude of the heathen, right? Stop dealing with the ways of the heathen. Stop dealing with the ways of the world, basically, and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, right? That they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land, right? Said that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. Like I said, they want to get a whole new breakaway. You know, we're going to break away from this thing. We're going to try to do right. We tired of being captives, right? The Syrians got us in captivity. Nevertheless, knowing that Babylon is going to be coming next, Babylonian captivity is going to be coming next. But they wanted to try to keep the laws, right? They seen that, hey, this ain't working. You know, this is not working for us, right? 42 again, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. 43, and they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. So they entered into the Euphrates River coming down off the west coast, man, right? For the Most High, then shewed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. The Most High shewed signs for them, right? And held still the flood till they were passed over. What were the signs that the Most High God showed them, and how did he hold the flood? You look at the days, and right around this time, right now, this time frame, what happens around this time frame in that same area, that same passage, coming from Ham, which is Africa, coming into the west coast of America, or Australia, or America? You have hurricanes. This is hurricane season, right? So those are some, and you can understand that every passage of the hurricane comes from that way all the way to America on the east coast, on the west coast, every time. This is the only area where the hurricanes come, man. Right? He said that for the Most High then shewed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. Who? So the 10 tribes, right? Who else is part of the 10 tribes? Issachar, right? Which would be what? The so-called Hispanics today. But let's see what signs Issachar had that the Most High helped us shoot the signs. Go to First Chronicles. Go to First Chronicles 12, I think. Yeah, 12 and 32. The book of First Chronicles, chapter 12, verse 32. And of the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do, the heads of them were 200, and all their brethren were at their commandments. So Issachar can understand what? The moon. They can understand the seasons, the times, the days, right? So this is how the Most High, let's read that again, 44. For the Most High then shewed signs for them, and held still the flood. So he shewed signs, what? Through Issachar, man, gave them the understanding of things to get us from the west coast of Africa to what? The west coast of Australia, right? And he stilled the flood. So, you know, that's a rough area of water in that passage, man. Like we said, you have the, you see, he's held still the floods, man. Those are some dangerous waters, man. And let's read why. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arsarid. So it took a year and a half to get over here, man. So with the help that the Most High sent and gave the understanding to Issachar to navigate here, right? Then holding still the floods for the 10 tribes to actually come and get to Arsarid, right? So these are the things that occurred. Now we're getting back into what the class is letting us know what. So what did Christopher Columbus do? Because now you see around 533 BC that you're finna get what? The first civilization or landing on that Arsarid part of land, right? And who were they? They were the Israelites. Was it the natives? Was it the indigenous people? Or was it the God's chosen people? It was us, man. Right? We just know that native and indigenous are bywords, right? Let's go on and get it. Native is a byword. And guess who gave us that name, that term? Christopher Columbus called us native, man. That wasn't us. And then they say, well, the Vikings were already over there. Guess what? Newsflash, we are the Vikings, man. That was the 10 tribes, man. We were the first Vikings, man. No people like, nah, man, the Vikings, man, they white, man. They so-called white people, right? See the little football team, see them on the helmet. See the little white, so-called white man with the big bird and the hat on, things of that nature. Man, that is a lie, man. That's nothing but a lie, man. So we were those first what? Vikings, or those people, the first people to actually put civilization in Arsarid or America. But let's show you these bywords that they give us, man. You already know Deuteronomy 28 and 37. And thou shall become astonishment, a proverb and a byword among all nations which the Lord shall lead thee. So we know that native, that indigenous, all that, these are just bywords, man. You best believe they ain't finna say, oh, those God chosen people. Oh, that was Reuben, that was Gad. Oh, that was Issachar. Oh, that was Asher. No, they not finna say that. They not finna say that at all. Now they don't want to give up themselves too much, right? So let's I wanted to read this about what Columbus did to the natives, man. We already know. We already know what Christopher Columbus did to the native people, man. We know that he brought what? Smallpox over here. He wanted to conquer them. Made a treaty with us, right? Give me 1 minute, Israel. But they like to say he come over here and did this and that. They had big dinners, they ate together, all this here. Come on, man, that's a lie, man. We know that. We know he really didn't do that, man. It said throughout the years in America, Columbus forced natives to work for the sake of profits. Later, he sent thousands of the Taino Indians to Spain to be sold. And many of them died during that journey, man, right? So he sent some of our brothers to be sent back to Spain to be sold. And then gets right to get the rest of them. Guess what he did? What? Gave them smallpox. Gave them all kind of diseases, man. Right? They started getting all these damn diseases from the other nations, man, from the heathens, man. Well, we don't want them around us, man. I can't see how people. I don't see why people want to keep them around, man. Right? That's where we got our smallpox from. That's where we got all these little diseases, man. So that's what he did, right? Let's go to Deuteronomy 33 and 17 right quick. So we're getting to understand that Christopher Columbus did not discover this part of town, which you can ask them. They say, no, he didn't. They know that. But then they try to throw in, oh, it was the Vikings. It was this and that. We were those people, man. Right? All we got to do is go back and look into the scriptures and see that we were those people, man. Deuteronomy 33 and 17. see, do I want? Let's read Deuteronomy 33:17. His glory is like the firstling of his bullocks, and his horns are like the horns of unicorns. With them he shall push the people together to the ends of the earth, and they are the 10,000 of Ephraim, and they are the thousands of Manasseh. And of Zebulun he said, rejoice, Zebulun, in thy going out, and Issachar in thy tents. Issachar in thy tents. That last part is what I wanted to touch on. Issachar in thy tents. So we know, when we always talk to our brothers and sisters, they be like, well, how can the Hispanic be part of us, be our people? We always let them know, Hispanic so-called Hispanic of native descent. Because, the Spaniards came and conquered them. So you have some that are Spaniard genes. And they know this. You ask them. You be like, you from Issachar? You're Hispanic? Yes, I'm Hispanic. We say, you from what, native or Spaniard? They be like, I'm Spaniard. We know those are not our people. But those of native descent, those are our people, man. And that point proves it. Ephraim, and they are the Salaki, verse 18. And of Zebulun he said, rejoice, Zebulun, in thy going out, and Issachar in thy tents. Because what are the so-called natives and indigenous people doing? They had the teepees, man, right? That's why you got the tents, brothers going out to tabernacle. Some I think Mama Rod I had one. I took it back though. Had the tent made like a teepee at the top, man. Go across, you know what I'm saying? This is what they dwelt in, man. They dwelt in tents. They dwelt in booths, right? This is what they doing. History on Gad, on the Gadites, because that's who they really are. Gadites, which are the native, they're not native, they are Gad. He was the seventh son of Jacob, right? He was born to Leah's handmaid, Zilpah. And let's get some understanding of their characteristics. Let's go to Genesis. Go to Genesis 49 and 19. Genesis chapter 49, verse 19. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, for he shall overcome at the last. It says, a troop shall overcome him. Right? Who was that troop? Those were the Spaniards, man. Right? It said, but he shall overcome at the last, man. Because we gonna get that last laugh. We always say, he who last, right? We gonna go into that though. Gad is a troop. A troop shall overcome him, and he shall overcome at the last, man. Let's go to Hosea 7 and 8. Let's get some more on that though. So who was that troop? That troop was the Spaniards, man, coming over here knocking off our brothers, man. And we just go along right with all their little peace treaties, man. We just do Christmas, Columbus Day. We do everything, man. The book of Hosea, chapter 7, verse 8. They are all hot as an oven and devour their judges. All their kings are fallen. There is none among them that calleth unto me. Ephraim, he has mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned, right? So just to get some understanding on our northern kingdom brothers, man, the 10 tribes, man, right? They had different colors, man. That's what Hosea 7 and 8 is letting us know. That's a cake not turned. On the top of that cake, it's kind of light, right? But as you get down to the bottom of it, that bottom might be a little darker. So we know that some of those Indians, some of the native Indians, man, they were dark, just as dark as us, man. And then you see today's Colombians, they kind of high in color, man. Like they range from different colors, man. That's what it's letting you know. Ephraim has mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned, right? So we know Ephraim is the head of the northern kingdom, man. So it's just saying that they were a cake not turned. That's why you get different colors, man. Let's go to 2 Ezra 7 and 10. Because this, like, we are the firstborn of Israel. We know that. Of the Most High God. You look into Esau and Jacob. Esau was born first. But who the Most High God calls his firstborn? Israel, right? As well as Ishmael and Isaac. Ishmael was born first, but the Lord lets you know that Isaac is his firstborn, man, right? And this world was made for us. That's why it was us dwelling over there in Osiris first, because the world was made for us. This world was made for everybody, man. This was our world, man. The Most High God made this for us. 2 Ezra 7 and 10. And I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion, because for their sakes I made the world. And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then it was decreed that now is done. So he said, I made the world for Israel's sake, man. This is our world, man. That's right. You can't come to something and try to say that, oh, you discovered it or you did this and that when it was already ours in the first place, man. This whole world is ours, man. And brothers got to understand that. Let's go to that 2 Ezra chapter 6. Let's go to 55. No, that ain't what I want. What I want. It's like Israel. But we know the world was made for our sakes, man. I would have given another precept on that, but we know that. Isaiah 45 and 17, we already know that. But I was going to get something else. I got it in my mind. I can't think about it. But we see that the world was made for our sakes, that we were those ones dwelling in tents or in booths. That's why we're going out to camp, man. That's why we're doing that, man. Part of that was part of our custom for the Northern Kingdom. And also what? Going into the wilderness again, right? As well in our tabernacles. But Columbus, man, was a killer, man. That's why we don't call him Christopher. We call him Killer Columbus, man. What? That's what those are the qualities of the so-called white man, man. They the sword for Israel. They are nothing but killers, man. They come and break every treaty, right? They come and are nothing but liars, man. All right, let's go to Psalms 49, man. We can start at 11. 49 and 11 of Psalms. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own name. So this is why you have like Christopher Columbus Day, right? All these days of these so-called Edomites, man, these so-called white people, to try to put them in remembrance to keep them on top of us, man. They said what? Their inward thought is that that house will continue forever. They want to keep Christopher Columbus' name relevant until everybody died, man. And they know that he was wicked as hell, man. Right? So they give praise to the so-called white men that killed off the so-called, the real Jews or the so-called Indians of the world. But then what? You don't get nothing for the Israel. You don't get nothing for anybody else. Everybody else when something happened, oh, that's a shame. That's a disgrace, right? Like the song says, cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. So we're going to forget about them. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to keep dwelling and dealing with the things that they want to do or the cares of the world. It said their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations, right? They want to keep America like it's theirs. That's why they want to celebrate Christopher Columbus so much, because they want to have America like, oh, this is ours. We found this. Even though we know it wasn't, even though they give you indigenous people or native people, so-called, they still blind us and have us to thinking that what? Oh, America, that's us, so-called white man. We found it. We did this, right? Let's go to Psalms 44. Go over a page, man. Start at 10, man. Psalm 44 and 10. Thou makest us to turn back from the enemy, and they which hate us spoil for themselves, man. Right? They spoil for themselves, man. I want to go up. Let's go up, man. Let's start at 4. Psalms 44 and 4. Thou art my king, O God. Command deliverance for Jacob. Though Through the will we push down our enemies. Through thy name will we tread them under that rise up against us. So that's what we're trying to do today. We're trying to push down our enemies, man. We're trying to get this Christopher Columbus name, this indigenous land, this indigenous people, this native name. We're trying to push that down, man, right? Read that again. Through the will, through thee will we push down our enemies. And only through the maker will we push down our enemies, man. With the words of God, man. Because this is what cuts them up. They can try to say whatever they want to say. We go to the Bible, man. The most prophetic book, the most prophecies that has been written. Ain't no other book like this, man. Not this book of His commandments, man. Right? You can't get that with the Quran, anything, man. That is plagiarized, man. It said, through thee will we push down our enemies. Through thy name will we tread them under that rise up against us. So how do we tread them down and push their name down? By stop dealing with these people, man. Shalaki. Stop celebrating these holidays, man. That's how we push down, through thy name, right? How you push down with Christmas. What? Jeremiah 10. Show them. That's prophesied in the Bible that this is going to happen, man. And through His name, we push down our enemies that we want to keep dealing with these things, right? Verse 6, for I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me. And that's the thing about it. It's not a physical fight anymore. You know, you want to have a black Israelites, so-called, what they call them, militia groups. And, yeah, y'all ain't doing nothing, man. Y'all ain't doing nothing about it, man. Y'all over just sitting down. Nah, we doing a whole lot. Because who we letting fight for us? We letting the Most High God fight for us. We letting Hamashiach and Habashah fight for us, man. We said, my bow not going to work. Read that again, man. He said, for I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me. That's not going to save us, man. But what? Stirring up our pure minds, like we read earlier, right? Remembering the days of old. That's what's going to save us, man. Getting back into this word of God, man. Verse 7. But thou hast saved us from our enemies, and hast put them to shame that hated us, man. This is what the Most High has done constantly for the nation of Israel, man. He has constantly saved us from our enemies, man. Right? And put them to shame. And He's going to continue to do that, man. He's going to do it again, man. Once and for all, right? Verse 8. In God we boast all the day long. See? That's going into Ephesians 2 and 9. Not boasting on what we do, the things that we're doing. Not boasting on the commandments that we are keeping. But boasting in the will of the Father, the mercies of our God, man. Him being a merciful, long-suffering God. That's who we boast in, man. In God we boast all the day long and praise thy name forever, Salah. But thou hast cast off and put us to shame, and goest not forth with our army. So He put us to shame, man. That's what He did to us. For the northern kingdom going off, what do? We went into captivity of the Assyrians. He put us to shame. For Israel, for Judah, Benjamin, Levi, for us not keeping the commandments and following through, guess what? He put the curses on us, man, as well as the 10 tribes, man. So He put us to shame, though, right? Verse 10, thou makest us to turn back from the enemy, and they which hate us spoil for themselves, man. So He's going to make them spoil for themselves, man, right? The same lies that they lied to us with are the same lies that will get their butts right back in trouble, man. It's the same lies that go come. We're going to uncover their nakedness, right? We're going to lift up their skirts, man. Let's go to Psalm, man. I was in Psalms all day because King David, man, he was always praying to the Most High to get us out of these situations, man. 35 and 14. Psalm 35 and 14. I behaved myself as though he had been my friend or brother. And that's heavy, man. That's what the native Indians, that's what Gad did, man. They behaved themselves as if Killer Columbus was their brother, man. They came talking all that nice stuff, man. That old peace talk this, treaty this, covenant this, which they broke, man. And that's what we do as a nation of people. We so nice to Esau ass, man. Come on up out of that stuff, man. We count them and look at them as our brother, but our own brothers, we don't give a damn about them, right? He said, I behaved myself as though he had been my friend or brother. I bowed down heavily as one that mourned for his mother, man. That's how good we are to Esau, boy. We'll bow down as one mourning to his mother for the so-called white man, man. For Esau's sake, shoot. Verse 15. But in mine adversary, they rejoice. The whole time you looking up to them, what, being a friend or a so-called brother to them, just because they say brother this and all the damn time, brother, and you start actually believing it, they rejoicing it. They rejoicing. This nigga stupid. This nigga think I care about him. I'm out here in Highland Park with 7-car garage, 7 bathrooms, 10, and they still think that we the same. They still think that we care about them. But in mine adversary, they rejoiced and gathered themselves together. Yea, the abjects gathered themselves together against me, and I knew it not. They did tear me and ceased not, man. Said they told me and they ceased not, man. They gonna continue to do this thing. Oh, it ain't enough. What? Oh, we always say, well, the grape gatherers leave some grapes. Esau wanted it all. Brand new socks and drawers, man. They want it all, man. Esau want everything they can get from you, man. He said they came together. They gathered themselves together against me, and I knew it not. Why do we not know it? Because we're not in our Bibles. We're not understanding history. We're not understanding remembering the days of old, right? They did tear me and cease not, and they continue to tear our butts, man. Every time they give you these holidays, these holidays, every time Thanksgiving come around, Christmas come around, Easter come around, they ceasing not, man. They gonna keep tearing our butts up, man. I got 38. Let's see where I want to go. Go to First Maccabee, man. We can go get that right quick. Because like David said, man, he said, I treated him as my brother, man. And he said they tore me up, man. And they continue to do it, man. This is all the so-called white man wants you to do. He said, I treat them like a brother. That's all they want you to do. They want you to accept what they trying to give you so that they can tear you down some more. That's all they doing. First Maccabee, we'll start at verse 30, man. Chapter 1, First Maccabee, chapter 1, verse 30. And spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. Not some, not most, but all was deceit, man. Every word Esau telling you but is a lie, man. It's a damn lie, man. For when they had given him credits, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore and destroyed much people of Israel. That is a heavy scripture, man. It said, and spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. This is the heaviest part. For when they had given him credits, as soon as you started believing that bull mess, man, as soon as you start, oh yeah, man, it's my white friend right here. Leave him alone. Don't touch it. Man, you bring that white boy Tanner to the hood, boy, we ought to get on his butt, man. You gonna have that one dude. No, man, leave him alone. He cool. Cool my butt, man. You know I want to say the other word, man. Cool, whatever, man. We gonna get on Tanner's butt, send him home to his dad. I hope his daddy come over here and try to avenge him, but we can get on his butt too, man. Grandfather, come on, man. Let's make us a whip, man. We can put that whip on Tanner's back, man. Get him out of here, man. Get him out of here, man. We don't want to deal with them people, man, right? 30 again. And spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given him credits, just when you start believing in that malarkey, man, that's what they want to say, malarkey, huh? So you want to start believing in that horse shit, right? That's what they call it. He fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore and destroyed much people of Israel, man. As soon as y'all started giving in to that mess, man, and I was part of it. I was a part of y'all. I was giving into it. I'm not anymore, though. Not no more. Can't fade it. Like I said, Israel, we cannot continue to get down with the ways of Esau, man, the other heathens, man. Because they ain't doing them and trying to knock us off, man. Let's go to Psalm 58. And y'all know the precept of that Maccabee 1 and 30, that's Psalm 55 and 20, man. But I just want to give y'all that one to see if y'all had that one. Psalm chapter 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born. Speaking lies, man. They speaking lies out the muscle, man. We was out there on the block Sabbath, man, telling the Esau babies, man, you're a liar. As soon as they be born, man. Your dad a liar. Your 4-year-old brother a liar. Your 2-month-old baby, he's a liar. He's a hairy liar baby, right? They come as soon as they be born speaking lies, man. The poison is like the poison of a serpent, man. So I always bring up that understanding, man. You got 10 snakes, 5 of them poisonous, 5 of them not. You're not going to stick your hand in there and see which one is not poisonous, man. Because at the end of the day, they all are still snakes. It said they poison like the poison of a serpent, man. Once they bite one, it's go trickle down and you bite all. Everybody coming over for Thanksgiving. Everybody coming over for Christmas, right? Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, man, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely, man. That's what they are. They charmers, boy. They gonna charm me into some things, boy. But I like verse 6, boy. Rather Talk read this thing in Capt. Break their teeth, oh God. Woo, boy. I know Jerubbaal was talking about that Edomite that tried to break into our truck, man. The boy that broke his teeth out. Break their teeth, oh God, man. In their mouths, man. Yeah, I want you to swallow every one of them, man. Chiclets, man. Yeah, you go boo-boo these out, man. You want them back, you got to get them out the regular way, man, right? Oh, he's regular. He's very regular, yeah. Because you're going to lose every one of them teeth, boy. Break their teeth, O God, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lion, O Lord. Because if you take the teeth away from a lion, I mean, he's a lion, but he ain't no lion, right? You actually got an opportunity to think, well, I might can win this thing, huh? I mean, he might get me with a few paw scratches, hit me with this and that. But when he trying to bite me, he loving me. Oh, that ain't nothing. Yeah, I might be able to get a little victory on you. Sweet victory, too, yeah. You know what I'm saying? King David, he fought lions with teeth in their mouth, you know what I'm saying? So we want to be warriors like that, but said break their teeth out their mouth. Take the teeth out of the lion's mouth. If he ain't got no teeth, he really ain't got no fight, right? What he eating with? What he eating for? What he gonna eat with, man? He gonna nub on some shrubs or something, man. But shoot, he can't eat no meat with them nubs, man. What you gonna do with no teeth, man, right? So we want the Most High God to break their teeth, man, out of their mouth, man. Teethless, man, because that's where their strength lies. Basically, we're saying we want to take the strength from them. That's why we're doing class today on Christopher Columbus. We're trying to take the strength from the so-called white man with Christopher Columbus, man. We're trying to take the strength from the so-called white man on Thanksgiving, right, with the turkey, the dressing, right? Psalm 64. Psalm 64, verse 1. Hear my voice, O God, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. He said, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, man. Right? From the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. And we know the workers of iniquity are the heathen, man, the so-called white man, who whet their tongues like a sword and bent their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, man. That's the words that they speak right now, right? What they show you on TV, that's their sword and their arrows right now. That's what they're using. Every time you see a commercial, what you see? Jake with a so-called white girl on the commercial. For what? It was a commercial the other day. I seen the dude. I can't think of who it is. He got a little Asian woman, man. Right? Little Moab white man. Stop playing, man. They always want to push the agenda. That's what they want to push. That's their sword right now. Even bitter words. Verse 4. That they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They don't care anymore. Like we said, they gonna kill you, shoot you down, get off of it, man. May do a year or whatever, might do 6 months. Get out that thing. They gonna have a cash out. They ain't gonna have no job no more, but they gonna have a cash out where they ain't gotta worry about no job no more, right? People gonna send them money. You get the little nigga, boy, oh, there you go, 100,000. Yeah. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? But like we said, we dealing with a very prideful group of people, man, with Esau, man. Right? They are very prideful, man. They search out iniquities. They accomplish, and they accomplish what they put in. When you see that so-called black man and white woman together, let's go get the next man. Oh yeah, man, I'm gonna give me a white girl. I'm gonna give me a so-called white woman. Give me a Becky, man, right? It said they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, man. And guess what? They going to bed thinking how they gonna keep us Negroes docile, man. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep, man. It's deep, right? This ain't just no game, man. Esau, the heart of them is deep, man. They deeply have a perpetual hatred for you, Israel, man. They deeply try to scope out ways to try to keep you on the bottom, man. But God shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded, man. And that's what we're doing. We wounding all these days. We wounding all this things that they're trying to give us in this world. We are putting a wound to that. You got people coming out of these Christian churches. You got people not celebrating, even though, and I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of people I know that's not Israelites are not identifying themselves as Israelites right now, but what they doing? I don't keep no high holy, I don't keep no Christmas stuff no more. That's a start, brother, but you gotta do the work, man. Right? But we are trying to wound them, man. We're trying to wound them in any way we can, man. But God shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. So that's what we said. We're going to lift their skirts, man. We're going to uncover all their nakedness, man, right? And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of God, for they shall wisely consider of his doing. So when we do get everybody out of these wicked ways and everybody to stop doing these holidays, the people go be like, man, there got to be a God in heaven. What? And take down the so-called white man? Right. The righteous shall be glad in the Lord and shall trust in him. And all the upright in heart shall glory, man. So them are the days that we're looking for, man. Days of glory in the Lord, man, by what? Doing away with these wicked days. So it's not the natives, it's not the indigenous people. It's God's chosen people, man. It was us here, man. Go to Sirach 12 and 10. We also know this one. Like I said, it wasn't going to be no too long of a class, man. Just wanted to shoot at them, man, as much as we can, man. Try to knock off some of these ways so hopefully somebody can get some understanding of why not to keep Columbus Day or any other day, man, right? That's not of the days of the Most High God. He gave us our holy days, brothers and sisters. He gave us them days, man, that we got to keep. Sirach 12 and 10, never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusted, so is his wickedness, man. We can't trust them, man. We cannot put our trust in our enemy, man. It makes no sense, man. Right? It just won't work, man. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And that's the problem. They humble themselves and crouch themselves. I'm just like you. I'm just another man just like you. I work hard every day like you, right? Take heed and beware of him, man. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. Right? Set him not by thee, lest when he had overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, man. Come on, Esau. Get away from us, man. That's why I'm always telling you, man, what is Esau doing here, man? We was at the State Fair, man, at the Grand Preview game, man. We know that it's bull mess. But what they doing here, man? Get them out of here, man. We don't need all around us, man. Definitely don't need this shit around us, man, right? But we know what you're capable of doing. You wicked, man. Right? Lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is beaten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? So who gonna pity you, man? You keep on wanting to deal with Esau, man. You keep on wanting to be his friend, and then he come and knock you out, man. Or you die on some friendly fire with Esau, man. We having a funeral for you. Esau done knocked you out, talking about his friendly fire. We're not gonna keep showing you pity on that, man. We keep telling you constantly to leave them alone, man. Leave them people alone, man. It's not gonna work, man. Let me get that precept I want, man. I think of the rest of Esther, man. Yeah. The rest of Esther chapter 13, verse 4. Declared unto us that in all nations throughout the world there was scattered a certain malicious people that had laws contrary to all nations, and continually despised the commandments of kings, so as the uniting of our kingdom, honorably and intended by us, cannot go forward. Seeing then we understand that this people alone is continually in opposition unto all men. This people alone is continually in opposition of all men, differing in the strange manner of their laws, man. Right? They say you can go identify yourself as a camel you want to. You can go sleep with a horse, a dog, whatever the case may be, man. And we see them doing this, man. Differing in the strange manner of their laws, and evil affected to our state. Right? Working all the mischief they can, that our kingdom may not be firmly established, man. That certain group of people, we know that's Esau, man. Differing in the strange manner of their laws, man. That's why I seen Sabbath, man. Edomite, man, he about 6'5", man, some big old boots, man, a little bit short. And I was shaking my head. They walked by and say, "What you shaking your head for?" I said, you asked me, so I'm gonna tell you this big flaming homosexual slacker. You know, LGBTQ2. I don't want no smoke with you with disclaimer. But yeah, man, that's just they bring all this wickedness, man. They brought all these smallpox and things. They bringing all these diseases. They bringing all these different ways of living. Now you can go marry a man if you're a man. You can marry a woman if you're a woman. You can go in the restroom of a woman if you're a man just because you say that you're a woman, or I want to be called a woman. This is wickedness, man. And we got to get away from them, man. Right? So we got to make sure we get away from these people, man. Let me get one more, man. I love this precept too, man. I think it's 2 Maccabees 4 and is that 4 and 13? 4 and 15. 2 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 15. Not setting by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all. But we like Esau dirty draws, but we like them best of all, man. Right? By reason whereof sore calamity came upon them, for they had them to be their enemies and avengers, man. How is Esau gonna be your avenger and your enemy? It don't make sense. He gonna put you in this predicament that you're in, but then get you out with that white image of Christ. That's what we thinking. We thinking that, hey, Esau gonna be our friend. He gonna get us out of this situation, man. Right? By reason whereof sore calamity came upon them, for they had them to be their enemies and their avengers, whom custom they follow so earnestly, man. We want to follow and do these customs so earnestly. We want to follow and do Columbus Day so earnestly, man. We want to follow and do all these wicked days so earnestly, man, right? I was about to say read. Tell myself. And to whom they desire to be like in all things, man, right? We trying to be like them in all things. Let me get one more precept today. Ezekiel 16 and 15. So we're looking for Esau to be our enemy and our avenger. It won't add up, Israel. It won't work, man. Ezekiel 16 and 15. But thou didst trust in thine own beauty, and playedst the harlot because of thy renown, and pouredst out thy fornications on everyone that passeth by. His it was, man. It said, but thou didst trust in thine own beauty. Right? We didn't trust in our own beauty. We want to be beautiful in Esau ways, in Esau eyes, right? And playedst the harlot because of thy renown. Yeah, you see Esau living lavish, doing good. We play the harlot. We want to be a whoring after trying to fall out to Esau. We really, that's what we doing, Israel. We're trying to play catch up to Esau. We think that we, just because we gradually making steps that, oh man, you see where we came from this to that. Man, just 60 years ago, we was in slavery, man. I'm talking about hard bondage. Just 60 years ago, they was killing brothers, man. So-called white woman lying, saying, yeah, he raped me. And they killing brothers, man. They drug Emmett Till, man. This young so-called Jake, man. This is just 60 years ago. Come on, man. You got grandparents that's 60, right? 55, 60, 70. Some people mothers and stuff, right? So we played the harlot, man. And we didn't trust in our own beauty. We want to trust in our own beauty. The Most High God made us beautiful as a nation, man. We want to trust in everything else, man. We want to trust in the east side. We want to trust in everything, man. We always say keep a law, man. We're going to get a law tonight. Let's see, I did not get one. Let's go to, I brought it out, Leviticus 19 and 14, man. We always bring it out, but I had brought this out because what this woman did Sabbath, she brought her young son out there to video camera her, trying to go against the prophets, man, being out of order, man. But what she did was put a stumbling block in front of her son as well, because that's totally out of order. Leviticus 19 and 14 is the law for tonight. Thou shalt not curse to death, nor put a stumbling block before the blind, but shalt fear thy God. I am the Lord. So you know that son, he was young, about 12, 13, 14, a nappy-headed boy, man. I said, boy, her husband might have been ham, man, because that boy I ain't lying. No, and I ain't shooting shots like that, but I'm serious, man. You know, you look at these things. It's characteristics that you look and see and say, that's probably why she ain't got no husband. That's probably why he ain't right. Damn Hamite, man. Might have been, man. I don't want to put false accusations on the sister, but like I said, I just peeped the game. I see, yeah, might be, man. Right? So it says, thou shalt not curse to death, nor put a stumbling block before the blind. When you do that, man, you're not giving the Most High God his credit, man, right? We got to fear the Most High God. We can't put a stumbling block before the blind. That young brother was not old enough yet, right, to have the true understanding yet. So he's getting knowledge and gaining from his mother right now, or hopefully that knowing that they're not going and congregating with men because his mother want to teach so much. So within all of that, she put a stumbling block before her son, man. All right, so that's the law for tonight. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for tuning in. I said it wasn't going to be a long class. Just wanted to show shooting the bow and Esau and them for these wicked holidays, these wicked holidays. They try to portray on us. And we're trying to lift up their skirt, man. Let Israel know, man, that we're not going to keep partaking in these sinful deeds against our God, man. Playing the harlot, man, right? Being adulterers and adulteresses, man. We thank God for sending to the GoFundMe and the Cash App. That money's been greatly used for the edifying of this kingdom, man, trying to push us around the globe, trying to get us to different places to bring out the truth. Like we said, Israel, share this truth, man. Push this truth around the four corners of the earth, man. You know, I hope brothers and sisters got took some notes tonight, got some precepts under them, man. You probably already had them. If not, you know, take them notes, man, add them to your repertoire, man. Let's keep gaining knowledge. Israel, do what we got to do to get out this captivity. Like we said, we are in our tabernacles right now. If any brothers and sisters want to reach out to us, feel free to, man. We'll be going out camping Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and Sunday. So we got 4 days this time. We've been doing 3, but our praise to the Father, he gave us 4 this time. Hopefully we can get up to that full 7, man. So happy Feast of Tabernacles, Israel, man. Let's keep the commandments, Israel, man. Let's do what we got to do. Let's come back as a great nation as we are and do what we got to do, Israel. With that, say shalom, Israel.